got the one and only KB with us. KB, how you feeling today?
Man, I'm out here in these streets, man. Just singing my song, you know.
Yeah. Well, thank you for doing this. This is like a long time coming.
Yes.
I know I reached out to you a while ago, and for you to have time for us means a lot. I know you're really busy. You're here for a show, so thank you for your time.
Amen.
It means a lot.
Amen.
Let me, where do I start? Let me, trying to get everything in 10, 15.
Yeah.
How do you, what's next for you right now? I know you've been releasing singles, and I know they're all been fire, by the way.
Thank
and
you.
There's one particular song I actually wanted to get into, but what's kind of like the game out? Do you have an album coming soon, or is this private information?
No. I'm always working, and I'm enjoying the way that things are set up now, being in the digital age, and we just have direct-to-fan access, where we don't need to take 8 months and, back away from the world and put an album together and then release that one album and then promote it for 2 years. But like we can make I'm literally making songs in the studio and just putting them out. So I feel like the fans have appreciated that more. I simultaneously want to give a body of work. So I am working on this worship hip hop project right now.
Okay.
But yeah, I got more coming, man. I got 2 more coming before the summer. And that's just been my sort of creative release, and it has felt freeing to me to not get caught in the perfectionistic ways that we creators sometimes are burdened by, and just, man, write a song, record it. If we all like it enough, I just throw it out.
That's awesome. Speaking of like a worship rap album, the very first concert I went to, I was like a sophomore in college. This is a while ago. And you were at Bethel University. You probably don't remember this. But you, in the middle of your set, brought on a worship song. And you had everybody worshiping. And that, to me, I was expecting rap. I was expecting a hip-hop show. But you bringing worship into that space literally blew my mind away. And it was just a moment. I mean, I remember looking around and people had their hands raised and they were acknowledging that God was in that place. And every time I've gone to your concert, I just leave more courageous. I leave more encouraged to love God and serve people. How much time do you put into crafting your set and thinking about what you want people to take away from what you're doing?
Great question. Man, there's a lot that goes into the set. Mo, who's my drummer, also doubles as my music director. And he just has a natural bend towards, well, he's mad churchy. That brother grew up in the church. So praise and worship is kind of the air we breathe. So it's who we are naturally. So when we approach sets, we're thinking about how to capture the moments that mean the most to us. Worship means a lot to us. Turn up means a lot to us. Profound thought means a lot to us. And our thing between Mo and I is how do we make moments for the audience? So when we think through a set, like we have a 20-minute set, we literally count how many moments are in there. Okay, there's a journey moment. Here's a worship moment. Here's a reflection moment. And if we can hit our quota of moments, we got a set. Then we go out, and every show is a performance and a practice, So we're performing it, but then we're also going back saying this is what we feel like can be better. This can be refined. This can be extended. This, needs to go, whatever. So that's kind of been the process, and the Lord has blessed it, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. You released a single this year called Die Rich. And
was that this year?
Was that this year? Maybe it was like, I think it was this.
Okay, maybe it was.
I don't know. But in that song, you talk about what it looks like to give everything that comes to us back to the kingdom. Why did you feel like it was important for you to make a song that talked about money and how to steward money? I know for us, man, if we had time, we could really get into it. But money is a huge deal, especially for us second generation immigrants, where we want to make a lot of money, and a lot of it is because we're thinking about our families and their future. And in that journey, we're trying to keep our hearts pure. We're trying to keep our hearts in the right place so that we don't get lost in riches, right? And so, yeah, why did you decide to make that song? And what does it look like to steward money in a way that would really honor and glorify? I know that's a huge question, but anyway, the way you can answer it.
So one, I realize that money is a central part to everybody's life. We all, well, at least most of us, like making money. We like not being in debt. And we don't realize that money is one of the prime ways that we demonstrate our relationship with God, whether we're good with him or not good with him. The Bible talks about money almost more than anything else in the New Testament, in your relationship with it. So I feel like, if not money or possessions, whatever, but that Bible, Jesus talks about it a lot. And I feel like having a kind of biblical vision for money has everything to do with whether you are growing in God or you're growing away from God. I unashamedly say that I'm a capitalist, but I'm around other capitalists, and I hear how we talk. And from even Christian capitalists, you would think that their money is theirs and not God's. So one of the things that the Bible is also clear about is that the resources that you do have been given to you to maintain. And you are a borrower, and you have to give an account for what you did with that money. So when I said in Die Rich that every dollar I make belongs to someone else, I'm saying that though I'm trying to make as much as I can, save as much as I can, give as much as I can, every dollar has a name written on it. Is this for giving to the needs of the church? Is this for supporting the needs of a mission? Is this for my children's inheritance? Is this to get rid of debt? Is this to establish value? Is this to expand? No dollar just exists for me to be throwing at clubs, or no dollar I have exists for me to just spend on all my sort of pleasures. Now, that's a difficult thing to do. I am well pleased by food, and it's hard for me to not just throw my money on crab legs weekly. But the principle remains is that God has given me money for the purpose of stewardship and showing that He is better than money, and there's multiple ways in which multiple ways in which we do that and we display that. So, yeah.
That's good. Last question. HGA. That's the law. For those who don't know, it means His glory alone. What does that mean to you, and how do you try to abide by that in all that you do, and how do you encourage us to live a life that's really about the Lord's glory?
Right. So a lot of folks know my story. I was rescued from the devil, from myself, from the world at 16. Someone gave me a Christian hip-hop CD, had 8 songs on it, 8 songs of gospel presentation. I believed on Jesus that day. I've been walking with Jesus ever since. And I have no confusion over the fact that nothing more important will happen to me in my life. No Grammy, no Dove, no sort of payment from a venture capitalist, no opportunity. There's nothing that's going to happen to me in this life that is more important than what Christ has done in my heart. Him saving me for a reality that extends way beyond anything that I experience in this world. Any joy, any pleasure, including the good pleasures like family and my wife. There's nothing that I have accomplished that I have gotten to share in that holds a candle to what Jesus has accomplished on my behalf. And what He accomplished on my behalf brings ultimate happiness to me, happiness that not only lasts for now, but goes into eternity. We would argue that a happiness that's going to blow up on you at the end of the night, then you have it for a moment, but then it turns on you, and that's not real happiness. But a happiness that that goes beyond circumstance and extends into eternity. That's true happiness. That's what he gives me. Him doing that brings ultimate glory to himself. And every time Christ is bringing glory to himself, because he's glorified by loving and saving you. Okay? We are the benefactors. You feel me? So when I talk about the spectrum of living for God's glory, I'm thinking about all the ways that he is intended to bring joy to your life by you following his ways. And when I say his glory alone, it covers all of life. And wherever you find yourself, that if you can find true north, which is glory, you can find his glory in that situation, God will be pleased, which is pleasurable. I like knowing that God's pleased with me. But there is also an existential sort of reality that God will be with you in your fight. God will be with you in your decision. God will be with you in your home. And his presence is a real help. And so that's what I mean by his glory alone. It's a commitment to see him lifted up, which is exactly where I see my joy lifted up. Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for your time. Really appreciate this.
Thank you for the Ethiopian food.
Yeah, you got some Ethiopian food here.
Go ahead and get a close-up on it, though.
Yeah, and so excited to see you perform tonight. And thank you once more.
God bless you, bro.